On the Galapagos Islands, one of the preferred ways of traveling is by a land-based package, land-based expedition. With a land-based expedition, you stay in the hotels and you have excursions during the day. There are 3 main islands where you can stay, San Cristobal, Isabela and Santa Cruz. My personal favorite is San Cristobal because it's a small island. The airport is just located 5 minutes from the village. Whenever you walk around the village, you see sea lions everywhere. And there are some nice places where you can have a coffee. There are some nice restaurants. So it's a nice place to just hang out. In San Cristobal, there are a couple of day excursions that we include. Usually the Kikerok snorkeling day tour. With that day tour, you go from the harbor around 8 a.m. in the morning. You navigate around 45 minutes to go to Kikerok. On this place, the Kikerok is actually just 2 big rocks, and then in the middle you have a channel where you can go snorkeling. In that channel, there's a high chance to see sharks, especially hammerhead sharks. So that's amazing whenever you see them. Afterwards, you visit the local beach, and then you have lunch on board and you navigate back to the village. So that is one of the most popular expeditions. Then in San Cristobal, the other things that you can do is doing the ceviche workshop together with Barbara. Something else that you can do is you can visit Punta Carola. You can visit the highlands. You can visit El Junco. You can visit Puerto Chino, which is a beautiful beach on the northern side of the island. So in San Cristobal, I always recommend to start your trip, stay for at least 2 nights before you move on to the other islands. Then, in my preferred island hopping trip, you fly to Isabela. They're inter-island flights. It's about 40-45 minutes to go from one island to the other. And the costs are about $200 per person. And it is a beautiful way of seeing the islands from above. It's not just a way of transportation, but it's actually a scenic flight to have all the different volcanic formations, the beaches. So it's a nice experience. It's not possible to go by boat from San Cristobal to Isabela directly. If you don't want to fly, you have to go by boat through Santa Cruz. So first you take a boat of about 2.5 hours from San Cristobal to Santa Cruz, which costs about $40. It takes you 2.5 hours. There are only twice a day boats going in between the islands. It's at 7 a.m. or it's at 2 p.m. Whenever you are going by boat in the morning, you get to Puerto Ayora, which is the main city of the Galapagos Islands, based in Santa Cruz Island. And then you have to wait until 3 p.m. until the boat goes to Isabela. This boat also takes 2.5 hours to get you to Isabela Island. And then on Isabela, I think it's the most beautiful, you find the most beautiful beaches that you've ever seen. Isabela Island is the biggest one of all of the islands in the Galapagos. You have a lot of volcanoes over there. And only the most southern part is the place that you can visit on a land-based program, because that's where the village is based. In that village, you have mainly dirt roads. There's a very long white beach where you have the most stunning sunsets. And there are a couple of nice hotels. Don't expect high-end 5-star hotels because it's very remote. It's not very developed, Isabela Island. So there are a couple of restaurants. You find their basic local food like fish with rice. The hotels are nice, but they're small. Some of the hotels, for example, Casita de la Playa, they just have 8 rooms, but it's right on the white beach. So it's a very nice place to stay. You open your curtains in the morning and then you see just white beach and the sea, of course. On Isabella Island, the excursions that we usually include are the Sierra Negra volcano. So from the village, it's about 40 minutes to drive up to the volcano. The volcano is very special because it has a caldera of about 2 kilometers wide, where you see all lava. It's just one big black lava field that you can visit. Beautiful. There you can have a hike of about 2.5 hours before you drive back. In Isabella you may find penguins. There's a penguin colony over there in the southern part of the island. We do kayak activities there. We have snorkeling activities. One of my favorites is called Los Túneles, where you go by boat to a place where you have these lava formations with tunnels below. And then in the tunnels you find white-tip sharks. And that is so special to see. You just snorkel and then on 1 or 2 meters from you, you see a huge shark just resting on the floor. So that is definitely one of the most popular day excursions. While snorkeling there, I also found horses, seahorses. I've also seen penguins, blue-footed boobies. There's a lot that you can find on Los Túneles. So, in my opinion, it's a must. From Isabella, you can fly back to Santa Cruz. So it's again a 45 minutes flight. Or you can take the boat. It's about 2.5 hours to go by boat. The water can be choppy, especially in that on that way. The boats that are used for the inter-island transportation are usually are not that big. Therefore, they have a capacity for 20 until 40 passengers. Yeah, you have to be prepared that you get a little bit wet. You get a life jacket. The seats are fine, but we do receive feedback from our travelers that it's not the most comfortable ride that they've ever had. So if you don't like choppy water, if you're a bit afraid of seasickness, we recommend to take a flight, an inter-island flight. 45 minutes to get to Isabella to Santa Cruz, and then you get right away to Baltra Airport. It is a good option if you have the same day flight back to mainland, to Guayaquil or to Quito, because then you just have to stay in Baltra Airport for an hour or two and then you fly back to mainland. From Baltra Airport, it is also possible to go to Puerto Ayora, which is the main city of Santa Cruz. But this transportation is a bit of a hassle. So you arrive to Baltra Airport. From there, you have to wait until your luggage gets cleared. Whenever your luggage is cleared, you have to take a bus. It's called Lobito. It costs $5. And then with that bus, you go to the Itabaca Channel. The bus ride takes about 10 minutes. And on Baltra Island, there's a high chance to see the land iguana, which is a beautiful yellow iguana. So whenever you're sitting in the bus, go sit next to a window because that is where you see the iguanas. Whenever you get to the Itabaca Channel, you have to wait until the public boat comes in. And then it takes about not even 10 minutes to navigate from one side to the other. It costs $1, so it's not a lot of money, but it is a hassle because you have to wait in line. Your luggage goes from one side of the island until the boat, and then from the boat again, it gets to the part of Santa Cruz. Whenever you get to Santa Cruz, you either have a private transportation taking you to a hotel or to the highlands or to the village, or you take a local bus. I think the price is about $10 to get the local bus to the village of Puerto Ayora. But that drive is about 40 minutes. So it is a whole way to get from Baltra Airport all the way to the village of Puerto Ayora. We always say it takes about 2 hours. So that is something you have to keep in mind. In the village of Puerto Ayora, there's a lot of things that you can do. Of course, you have wildlife. The nicest place for me is the fish market. So you go to the fish market and you see a bunch of birds, sea lions, of course fish, and how they all work together with the local fishermen to give the fish, the freshly caught fish, to the clients is very nice to see. And then of course in Puerto Ayora you have the Charles Darwin Research Station, which is a must visit whenever you're in the Galapagos, because it teaches you everything about the history of the Galapagos. It teaches you about Lonesome George, the very special tortoise that once lived in the Galapagos. It shows you all about the conservation program that they're organizing, making sure that this place really maintains its magic. Santa Cruz is also an important island because it's the hub of the Galapagos. So the most important airport is located there in Baltra. But it's also the main hub for all day excursions. So if you want to go to Bartolomé, if you want to go to North Seymour, Pinzon, Santa Fe, all those day excursions depart from Puerto Ayora. So I always recommend to stay at least for 2 nights in Puerto Ayora, to go from there to the different places. And also very nice to visit is the highlands of Santa Cruz, because you find a couple of ranchos, a couple of like countryside restaurants where they have private reserves with a lot of land tortoises, the giant tortoises. You can take pictures with them, you can walk around. There are local guides that explain all about their environment, so it's a very nice place to go. Also, if you like diving, there are some diving day excursions departing from Puerto Ayora. For us, it's always very important to work with the best local suppliers. Since 2014, we're offering land-based programs in the Galapagos Islands. So we know exactly who's the owner of a certain boat that goes to Bartolomé, for example. We know that you can only work with certain boat owners in the Galapagos if you want to make sure that you have a good experience. Because whenever you get there, it might also be very overwhelming, because there's so many suppliers, sometimes not even official suppliers, that offer all types of tours. And since the Galapagos is such a special once-in-a-lifetime destination, we only want to work with the best and make sure that you get everything out of your 5, 6, 7, 8 days that you're there in the islands, and really have the best experience and just enjoy and be inspired, and make sure that whenever you are in the Galapagos Islands, you really feel the same feeling as what Charles Darwin felt when he was there about 200 years ago.